Hey guys, it's Tay of Mosh Stables here, and welcome back to another video, or welcome for the first time. Today I'm going to be reviewing every single model that Breyer has revealed for Breyerfest 2025. Today on the Breyerfest blog, they revealed the last model. So unless there's any surprises currently, well, during Breyerfest, we shouldn't get any more model pops-ups, but we'll see. So we are going to start off with going over the event models, the models that you automatically get with your ticket selection. So the celebration model this year is Tight Lines, aka Fish, which I think is adorable, especially with his name. Well, the fish part being spelled with a PH instead of a F. I think that's a really cute little touch. And the mold is Cigar. He is a really nice, lightly shaded flea bitten gray. I think he's beautiful. He's handsome. He is quite plain, but he's nicely done for a plain model. So the only reason why I'm not crazy about jumping on getting him is because he's long. And I made the very poor decision to selectively start conging my favorite Dundies, and I have my first Roxy and Petra on the Eccleteki mold. I do not need any more long beans in my collection, but yeah, if space wasn't an issue, then I probably would be getting him. But maybe in the future, sometime down the line, because he is very nice. He is pretty. So I'm going to give him a solid 8 out of 10. Down to the stablemates, arguably my favorite part of Breyerfest. I gotta say, I love how colorful their little boxes are, and I am so happy that it's not a full set of 4 decorators. They're all realistic. So with it being Breyerfest 75th anniversary and their diamond anniversary, I was definitely expecting some sort of decorator, but they did do gemstone theme for last year's ticket stablemates, so I'm really glad that they didn't follow suit that way. But if they were going to lean towards decorators, I would have really liked to have seen some clearware. I feel like they could have done some really cool things with diamond-inspired clearware. But I'm happy that they're not, because I don't collect decorators. I hope that it stays that way, so we will get in with these guys. This one here is Bellini, the adorable resculpted thoroughbred, originally done by Kathleen Moody. I really like her Appaloosa spotting throughout the body. I'm just really not a fan of her shading, which is very unfortunate. She's too reminiscent of me for the vintage style paint jobs, which I know it's their anniversary. Of course they're going to be referenced towards vintage. I just don't like having a bunch of vintage or vintage-inspired things in my collection. I have very, very few exceptions in my collection, and they're tough to make those selections. So, yeah, without her shading, she would definitely be coming home with me, but she's the only one of these 4 that I don't want to have in my collection this year. Next we have Mimosa, a glowing Palomino Tobiano on the iconic Indian pony mold, originally sculpted by Chris Hess. She is so cute. I am so glad. Wait, did I give her a ranking? I'm so sorry. Jumped right ahead. Because I like the molds so much and the adjustments made to the mold, but I'm not a fan of the color, I'm going to give her a 5 out of 10 for Bellini. And then Mimosa, well, back to Mimosa. She's super cute. I love how soft her coloring is. See, this is proof to me that, Breyer, you can do Palominos right. You can do nice, softly shaded, creamy Palominos and not Cheetos. I'm, I'm sorry. I'm just so tired of Cheeto Palominos, and yeah. So it is refreshing to see a nicer, creamy and shaded Palomino. I love her. I'm not the biggest fan of the mold itself, but I feel like this color changes that, or at least it fixes it a bit. This color belongs to this mold. It just suits her so well. And I definitely want this one to replace is it bay or buckskin? I think it's a buckskin. Regular run from Tractor Supply a few years ago. I really only have that one because she's the only one that of the current releases, that I've liked enough to have in my collection. So once I get this gal, she will be taking her place, and I hope that I can show her. She seems like a fun one to show. I'm going to give her a Giving Mimosa 9 out of 10. On to Cava. This is a beautiful glossy dapple bay on the Cantering and Illusion mold, sculpted by Maggie Bennett. I am finally starting to see what everyone has been saying about how drool-worthy glossy dapple bays are. My goodness, he's gorgeous. He's gorgeous. I don't want to say that I like him better than Rue. I feel like currently Rue is still my favorite run on this mold, but this guy's gonna be tough. Like, I feel like his dapples could be a little bit troublesome, a little bit fish scaly, at least on this one and the promo pictures. Maybe I can find one that's a little bit softer with the dappling, but out of the 4 ticket stablemates, this guy's my favorite. I really, really want him. He's my priority to find this year. So I'm going to give him a solid 10 out of 10. I think he's beautiful. And I just really, really like the molds. I didn't think that I would. I didn't think that he'd be a favorite. I thought that he'd be neutral, but I've really, really grown to love the mold. Onto Prosecco. I won't hurt myself. I won't try. The Playful Draft Stallion, the new Augustus mold from Sarah, on a gorgeous shaded black snowflake Appaloosa. I think he's very handsome. Again, it's really hard to see his detail because he's so dark, so glassy, and Breyer does not do a great job photographing their models for promo pictures. But I feel like, honestly, just from this one photo, I feel like I like him better than Augustus already. Color-wise, I feel like this color suits the mold a bit better. So I'm gonna give this guy an 8 out of 10. I like him a lot. I won't be upset if I get him. I'll definitely keep him, but I will definitely be trying my hardest to get Cava the most. So that is all of the event ticket models, and we will jump on over to the limited editions. Here we are with the limited editions, previously known as the store specials. The first one here is Bellissima Sapphire. She is $70 each, limited to 2,000 pieces. And the real horse is a plain chestnut Endurance Arabian. I feel like the mold itself is very pretty, even though it does have some conformation issues. I think this color is really pretty. I mean, no offense, it's just a fact that she's a plain horse. Despite how pretty she is, I just don't have that sense of urgency to add her to my collection. Though I would like to see a side-by-side comparison of her with S Just a Dream, because, I mean, they're both chestnuts on the same mold. I would just like to see what they look like next to each other. I feel like that'd be pretty cool. I'm going to give her, we'll give her a 6 out of 10. Down to the new Welsh Cob for this year. This is how kind, I won't hurt myself. This is Nightlife. $75 each, also 2,000 pieces. This is a adorable little Welsh Cob stallion that does driving and dressage. I feel like the cool thing, well, again, this model is rather plain, but his one telltaling feature is his crazy little pony eyes. I know it's going to be hard to keep up with right there. I apologize. So one eye is brown, and the other is a partial blue, partial brown eye, which I really love that detail. My first horse, Spooks, he had a partial blue-brown eye, so I really like that detailing. And for that reason, like, I want to buy him just because of his eyes. And his brown, at least in these promo pictures, they almost look sort of more terracotta red, so like red little demon pony eyes. I find that funny, but I do not want to sacrifice the space on a model just because of their eyes. That being said, he's cute. I have nothing against the mold personally, other than he's just a shelf hog and he's long. I'm gonna give him an 8 out of 10. Down here we have this year's classic. I am so happy that it is not a decorator. I don't know if this is the first time the classic has been another portrait model or just first time in a few years, but I love this. I love this. Especially his cute little raining costume that he has in the freestyle raining. I think that's such a perfect detail to add, especially since his color is pretty different. While the model itself looks like a really dark bay, seal bay vibes, the real horse is actually a buckskin. And so I feel like he definitely needed a little bit of something to help make him a little bit more eye-catching, so I'm glad that they gave him his costume. I feel like that's adorable. It's $35 each, limited to 1,000, 750 made. While I really do like the raining molds, and I do love raining horses, if you don't know by now, I don't want to collect classics. I want to save my space for other things. So, but respectively, I'm also going to give this guy another 8 out of 10. Okay, some of you have probably been familiar with Cheeto Cleveland Bay. I believe his name is Griffin. Now get ready for for Spicy Cheeto. Oh my goodness, guys. Like, he's cute. Don't get me wrong. And the mold itself is very nice. I just see nothing but spicy Cheetos when I look at him. Or in his mane here on the side. Yeah, the little orange striping that he has on his mane. It reminds me of the orange cream swirled hard candies. If anyone knows what I'm talking about. It's not a bad thing to remember, or not a bad thing to think of, but not something that I want to think of when I'm looking at my model horses. So, yeah, the only thing that I feel like could bump this guy up to a 10 out of 10 for me would be if he was a little bit softer in his color and in the shading in his mane. But then again, you know, it is what it is. Despite all that, he's still a lovely model. I'm also going to give him I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Yeah. That just feels right. I can't explain it, but yeah. He's $80 each, 2,000 pieces. I can't remember if I said that about him or not. So, yeah. He's cute. I want another one that I want to see side-by-side comparisons of him. I want to see Spicy Cheeto next to Cheeto. I feel like that'd be cute. Okay, onto the Best of Breyerfest set for this year. $60 each, limited to 2,100 pieces. Same run as the last year. That Gray Cassidy, I can tell you right now, no, I'm not gonna keep her. I have absolutely no interest in trying to keep her or trying to show her. I just really, really dislike this gray technique. Let's, if I can zoom in any better here. That graying technique is just not it for me. I don't like the dappling. I don't like the striping that is on the lower legs, which is hard to see in this picture, but they're just straight lines, and it's I don't know. I don't want to be mean. I know a lot of people love this specific style of graying, and it's been used on a lot of very sought after models in the hobby, like on the Polo Pony, the Dressage Elegance set, a few different one of a kinds, I believe. But it's just, I don't know. It's just so far off course for me personally. So this Cassidy, I'm really going to give her only a 3 out of 10. And that is a very generous 3, only because I like the mold. And nothing at all to do with the color. Down to the ASB below her, I see potential. I'm a little bit confused right now because, once again, Breyer represents their promo pictures in a not fantastic way. So hopefully it's just their lighting and the fact that she has a green ribbon that's sort of skewing her color on my eyes a little bit, making her gray body seem a little bit more green than what it actually is. Maybe that's just me. So I hope to be pleasantly surprised when she comes in person. Hopefully she's a little bit more true gray than she is a green gray. And my eyes are just playing tricks on me right now. So for that, I'll give her a 5 out of 5. I do like the molds. I do like her ribbon and her Overo markings. I'm just curious to see what her shade will look like in person. Then the cute little fjord right smack in the middle. The money piece this year. Absolute money piece. He is the whole reason that I am getting this set. Is just for him. I love him. He's adorable. His dappling does not look the best in this photo. I will admit that. But I'm willing to look past that because of this mold. And look how adorable he is. It also helps, very much so, that just a few days before Breyer revealed this set on the Breyerfest blog, I was researching other documentation, and I just so happened to accidentally stumble across the perfect documentation for this guy. So yeah, I'm chomping at the bit to have my chance to hopefully order this set and make him home so I can show him, because I feel like this guy is going to have a great time in the show ring, and I do not want to miss out on that. The Fjord, 10 out of 10. The Smart Chickalina, I love the color. I love the pattern. I wish that I liked the stablemate Smart Chick as much as I did the traditional Smart Chick. There's some confirmation issues that have been pointed out to me on the stablemate scale that I cannot unsee now. Plus there's just nicer stock horse molds anyway, which is really unfortunate because I want to love Smart Chick. And I feel like the traditional scaled one is a bit better confirmation wise. Well, off the top of my head, I could be wrong. They could be the exact same. They should be in theory, but I feel like the stablemate one is just a little bit more noticeable. So yeah, I would keep this guy for the color, but I'm really not trying to keep models for their color. I mean, that's a big thing about what attracts me to collect stuff, is the unique colors and patterns. but also showability. So his coloring is perfect. It's just the model itself for showing. So I think for that reason, I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. I really want to give him a higher ranking, but it's just his conformation issues that bring him down. So the Palomino Thoroughbred, he's really cute, very, very sweet, and underrated stablemate mold, I want to say. I don't feel like he gets enough love. His dappling looks very soft in this photo, which I hope the majority of the run is going to have soft dapples. He looks a little bit more lemony than orange or Cheeto-ish. So I'm hoping he stays more on that side than Cheeto side, but again, we'll see in person. I feel like I want to give him an 8 out of 10. But for the stablemate set overall, so give it a 7 out of 10. Really, like, the whole money piece is the fjord. I feel like the rest are sort of lackluster in comparison to the fjord. I will be stress looking for a set after if I do not get one with my own ticket. So on to the first online special. This is Hoopla. So whether you are going to Breyerfest in person, if you want to get this guy directly from Breyer, you have to have a online access Breyerfest ticket. That's it. So he's 75 pieces made. Well, no, he's $75 each and 3,000 pieces made. Excuse me. He is a lovely Bay Tobiano on the Bristol mold with a loose mane and tail. I think he's gorgeous. He is stunning. There's really not much to not like about this guy. Plus, the loose mane and tail is my preferred version between the two. Wait, does he have dapples? On this side here, he looks like flat bay, and on this side, it looks like he may have some soft dappling. If he has soft dapples, great. If he's flat, great. Just as long as they're not crazy fish scales. Yeah, I feel like as he is, a solid 9 out of 10. The only thing that would make him a 10 out of 10 would maybe be some gloss. Maybe? I really like this guy. I feel like he's nicely well done. The only thing from stopping me bringing him home at this moment is just funding. Realistically, what I'm looking at my budget at this year. So maybe if I have a little bit of extra wiggle room, but at this time I'm not planning on having that wiggle room. So maybe a later in life addition to the showstring. And then our online stablemate model, so same thing. You need a online ticket to purchase this guy directly from Breyer. This is Shindig, $15 each, also limited to 3,000 pieces. Breyer, why so many cool little mini Yorgs? I don't need a Conga mini Yorks. You're forcing my hand at this point. He's adorable. I love him. The shade of gray is very unique. It doesn't show up in our models a lot. So I feel like this is really cool. It's different. And I love the loud markings that he has. I feel like it suits his mold really well. And I'm definitely going to be trying to get this guy as well. Even though I don't need another York, my drafters have exploded since this guy has come into stablemate production, and I don't know what to do about it. But yeah, he's super cute. I love him lots. I'm gonna give him an 8 out of 10. I don't know what would make him a 10 out of 10. I think, especially after last year with Breyerfest and them doing a little variation, And they did a variation for Buggy the year prior before that. So I think the past 2 years they've had variations for the online stablemate. So I feel like we could assume that this guy's gonna have a variation as well. But we'll see. On to the plush for this year. This is Party Pal. $20 each. 1,950 pieces made, and there's a variation in the plush. Is this the first time we've seen a variation in plushes? I'm not sure. But regardless, one variation here is with a blue pom-pom party hat, and the other's a yellow pom-pom party hat. Super cute, a little too cartoony for my taste, but, I mean, adorable, and these are more geared towards the kids anyway, so I'm totally fine with that. I love his cute little sash as well as a party hat. I think that is a nice touch. I'm gonna give him a 6 out of 10. I just feel like there's other nicer Breyer plushes out there. For example, Pal's Palette that I have. He's my first Breyer plush, period, but also my first Breyerfest plush. I just feel like it's nicer done, but you know, again, it's fine. I'm more after the models than I am the plushes anyways. So yeah, very cute, just not necessarily my alley. So the last limited edition just so happens to be the Crystal. This is Standing Ovation. $50 each, limited to 1,750 made. And they shrunk down the iconic American Saddlebred down into fine crystal. This guy's handsome. He's very, very handsome. But there are other models that I would like to see shrunk down into crystal first that I would like better. AKA Dundee and Geronimo. I'm not sure has a Missouri Foxtrotter been made into a crystal before? I feel like he'd make a pretty good crystal. I know Bobby Joe has, and I would love to get a crystal Bobby Joe, except that I'm not willing to pay the secondhand prices that I'm seeing for right now. So I feel like my best chance at getting a crystal is just waiting for molds that I really like to come out and then try to get it that year. But yeah, this guy's really nice. I'm so happy for all the American Saddlebred lovers out there. I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. So that was our last limited edition, and now we can finally go check out the special runs. Here we are finally on the special run page for Breyerfest. The first special run that was revealed to us is Get This Party Started. Limited to 2,300 pieces and $70 each. And this girl is available to VIP All Access only. Why, thank you, Lilith, for your input. Very valuable information. Thank you. I guess Lilith also likes Get This Party Started. She's a very cute Bayo Vero on the Connemara Mayor molds. Indeed she is. She has 2 blue eyes, which I feel like are very cute. You can never go wrong with blue eyes. And I really like the gray smoke shading that she has there down towards the end of her tail. That's also a really nice detail. I'm glad that's not just flat black. That being said, she has some weird fuzzy masking or airbrushing going on in her mane. I know that's made to look supposed to be like a softer detail, but just that one area of her just looks blurry compared to the rest of her that's so sharp and so crisp. It just brings my eye to that area in not the most flattering way, which is unfortunate. But if it wasn't for that, I feel like she'd be a 9 out of 10. But because of the fuzziness, I'm gonna give her a 8 out of 10. This is Let the Good Times Roll. He is a glossy sooty buckskin leopard Appaloosa on the show jumping warmblood mold, but he is also the loose mane and tail variation. Or at least, yeah, Lilith. Or at least for right now, he is. He could be the matte and glossy split, or he could be the braided mane and tail split. We have no clue. But he, right now, as he is, perfection. I'm already, I'm going to give him a 10 out of 10. He's limited to 2,500 pieces, $80 each. And I feel like if I were to get a traditional online access ticket preference, wow, I would definitely put this guy at the very top of my list. Because I just, right now, as he is in this promo, he's gorgeous. He's beautiful. I can't really say much negative things about him, because where? So yeah, he's very pretty, and I've never paid much attention to the show jumping warmblood mold before, so I feel like he could be a very big gateway drug. Onto the Mayor and Full set this year. This is Good Times and Great Friends, limited to 2,300 pieces and $85 each. This is Raffin Maddox's brand new Mustang Mare and Mustang Foal, aka Fireheart's family. And the mare is a richly shaded glossy dapple bay, and the baby is a light chestnut. Both are glossy, or at least for right now, both are glossy. We don't know. I feel like the mare is really pretty. I have seen her a few times in person. I mean, of course, not this set, but from the Premiere Club. She's pretty. I would definitely get the set for the mare. I mean, I'm not crazy about her, which is weird because after I was just ranting about how much I really like Kava, and their colors are basically identical. They're very similar, I should say. Their colors are very, very similar. I'm not sure. I like her lots. I'm not obsessed with her. The foal is interesting, but I will say, Breyer, if you are going to shrink down any traditional foals down to stablemates, shrink this guy. He looks super cute. I haven't seen much of him. I haven't seen as much of him in person as I have the mares, but he's super cute. I think he's adorable, at least from these angles, and he could be even cuter as a stablemate. Just saying. As the set, I'm going to give them a 7 out of 10. Onto the decorator for this year. This is To the Ties That Bind Us. 2,200 maids, $75 each. I think I like the mold. I don't know anybody who doesn't like silver. I've never owned a silver before, so it's, I don't know, toss up in the air maybe. And I do like, which is really weird, because once again, I am not a huge decorator person, but I do really like this technique of having the Breyer models sort of like hidden in the patterning. I'm just not a Wedgwood person, so I would much rather take this year's regular runs with the same pattern going on, the silhouette pattern, than I would this guy. But, I mean, he's cool. I definitely see what they were doing, and I think he suits this Breyerfest to a T, just not for my personal collection. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Down here we have YOLO. He is 2,400 pieces made, $75 each. He is a dapple gray on the Vandermold. I'm confused by this guy too, just like I was for the stablemate ASB. It's a very... I mean, this one doesn't feel as green. It's still a realistic gray. It's just very... It's interesting. It's different. And his dapples sort of look like watercolor right now, which I'm not hating. So I feel like, especially with the variation between dapples, we're going to see a lot of crazy variation between this guy. So if you find one with softer dappling, I feel like that one is probably going to look better. But we'll see in due time. I do like he has big... They almost look chalky, but it's probably impossible to tell from these photos. But his all four socks, with how pristine white they are, they almost look chalky to me. I like that. I like that on this, instead of like stark white legs, mane and tail, just the legs. That's nice. Then we have our surprise horse. 7,800 pieces made, $85 each. I can't tell you what the surprise horse is because I don't know what the surprise horse is. No one does. Seeing that a lot of these models up here have variations, like this guy, not only does he have a mane and tail variation, but he has a leg variation as well as a more Spanish type horse. Silver, you don't have any variations that I'm aware of. Neither you guys, but this guy here, braided mane and tail. Croy, you don't have any variations. But a few others down below that we have to go over still have variations. So I'm wondering if, because it's, big 75th diamond anniversary, for the surprise horse, outside of the normal variations of like just between the different colorways that we're going to see, and then also matte and glossy, I'm wondering if the molds for the surprise horse used is going to be a variation itself. Mold has been around for several years and it has just recently been modified. What if we see the stallion Bobby Joe? I would love to see a stallion Bobby Joe as a surprise horse. That is not my official guess. I don't know. I want to see some other people's thoughts and opinions, especially Stormy Strike's videos, before I form my own. But right now, I feel like that could be a pretty big possibility. Again, other surprise horses I would love to see. I would love to see Geronimo, but I don't know. I guess Emerson sort of broke that trend last year. All the other surprise horses the molds themselves have sort of been like in motion of some kind. So now we have Emerson from last year, so why not Geronimo now? Or I guess some people would say they're too similar-ish. But I would love to see Geronimo since we've had Dundee as a surprise horse. So yeah, not my official guess, but right now the one like that jumps out to me is Stallion Bobby Joe as a surprise. That would be cool. Down we have Hats Off to You. He's so freaking cute. just look at his hats. Look at his adorable little hats. Limited to 2,500 pieces, $70 each. We get a old-timer. We all know I'm not crazy about vintage molds, but like if I had to have one, it would be old-timer and in this color. Cause I mean, look how nice that color looks on him, and then his adorable little party hats. It's just, he's too cute. Too freaking cute, and I definitely want him. So, again, if I were to get a traditional online ticket, I would definitely put this guy on my preference list for submission. because you get both party hats with him, and I mean, just look at that hat. He gets a 10 out of 10. Automatic 10 out of 10. I can't believe I'm giving a vintage a 10 out of 10, but yeah, he deserves it. He deserves it. Down below we have the Future is Bright. 2,200 pieces, $75 each. This is the brand new Crayola molds. And look, surprise, he has a mane variation. I'm not sure if his tail is different too, or if it's literally just his mane. But regardless, another variation. This shade of Palomino, the soft creamier, is very pretty. The stapling is horrendous. It's not even fish scales. It looks like bubble wrap textured, which I can't do that. No, I'm sorry. He had a lot of potential until the bubble wrapped apples. So I'm gonna give you a 4 out of 10, which I feel bad saying, especially since the mold itself is so new. But yeah, it's the downfall of the dapples. And our last special run, this is Life's a Journey. 2,000 pieces, $65 made, and this is our non-equine run for the year. He is a blue merle collie. Excuse me. And he has a super cute 75th anniversary bandana. This mold does not have a variation, but there have been like micro run color variations in the past on the animal mold, so like I can see a variation on this guy regardless. Realistically, if that's going to happen or not, I can't guarantee that, but I do feel like a very strong leaning towards yes. I think he's cute. There's not much to not like about this guy. I don't think I've seen a collie, or at least seen them enough to really appreciate them in person very much that I remember. But he's super cute, and I would definitely put this guy on my preference list as well. I know the animal molds tend to be bigger, and do I really want to use that space for pup? Maybe? I'm not sure. That is a battle to pick at a different time, but he's super cute. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. He's a good boy. Good boys deserve 8 out of 10s. And that is our final special run reveal. I appreciate you guys for bearing with me and sitting through this entire video. Please let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on these models as well. I love getting feedback from you guys, so any thoughts and suggestions going forward. I really hope that you guys have a lovely rest of your day, and thank you for tuning in as always. I will see you in the next video whenever that comes out.